Live. All right, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of the Extra Point. Got P.O. Culture, Michigan Mike, Michael Hasso, Tasha T. Sizzle, and we have a special guest all the way from the Bayou, our Bayou brother, Mr. Prince from Prince Sports. Good morning to you, Mr. Prince.
Good morning.
Born on the
Excited. Hey, that's good. That's a good hymn. That's a good hymn right there.
CCR for those of y'all who don't know.
Yep. I'm gonna run this back just to hear the New Orleans drawl. There's no better accent in the history of the earth than that New Orleans, Louisiana drawl. Well, good morning to you. Happy to have you on board. Now, Mr. Prince, Mr. Zoe, how do you want to be addressed today? Because we have a goon squad that'll be waking up and checking in with us. How do you want them to address you?
You could just Prince is fine.
All right, Roger Nelson. All right, we're going to start this off with a game that we like to call this or that. I'm going to give you two options, and you can only pick one. Are you ready to play?
Let's go.
All right, first up, ranch or hot sauce?
Hot sauce.
Thank you.
Mike, this is our first hot sauce.
Man, come on.
Louisiana.
They eat food down there.
We don't eat wings every day.
Great point. All right. Louisiana. That makes sense. All right. Private jet or private yacht?
Private yacht.
Yeah.
First private yacht. Okay. This is going to be a fun show. Las Vegas or Miami?
Las Vegas.
All right. Good job. Xbox or PS5?
Xbox.
Mike.
See, that's why we don't play. See?
Right, Mike. He didn't read the script. All right. Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick. I'm a soul brother.
Da, da,
I ain't into all that pop.
Okay, let's stick with rap then. No Limit or Cash Money?
Man. Can I plead the fifth? Because my homeboys gonna be at my doorstep tomorrow. Nah, we can't. Nah, that ain't right. Nah. They literally next door to each other. That ain't right.
Well, we'll take that as your answer then. All right.
You got the Kelly of Andy Magnolia, like right there.
You're gonna be on one of those documentaries on BET Plus. All right, we see the Ravens hat, but let's go here. Ray Lewis or Ed Reed?
Ed Reed.
Yep.
He's the reason I played DB. He's the reason I played, and he from where I'm from. He the reason I played DB. So I just got like a hometown love for him. Honestly, I love Ray Lewis.
That white suit is
Right. Where's the white suit, Prince? Yeah, he laughing because he know where that suit is. All right. You're a USC fan, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. I'm gonna give you two. You can only pick one: UCLA or Notre Dame.
Man, I hate both. Literally. I'm gonna plead the fifth like I did with Cash. I hate both.
Mike, Michigan State or Ohio State?
Which one do I hate more?
No, which one would you pick? Would you keep?
I would say Michigan State. You always got to have your little brother there, you know?
All right. Last but certainly not least, Michael Jordan or Mr. 444? 4 championships, 4 MVPs, 40,000 career points.
Oh, I'm go James all day.
How you take him out of the box?
Boom. Right there. He is, as Tasha T. Sizzle said with our last guest, you have exorcised the demons. This room is clear. GOAT James. Well, we are certainly happy to have you on board. Make sure that you guys stick around because he will show you and tell you how you can reach him on his own sports platform. Glad to have you on board. So you actually picked a great week to be on because we're continuing our countdown to kick off series where we're previewing the different NFL divisions. And up next today is the AFC North. The AFC North, ladies and gentlemen, was the only division in football where every team had a winning record. Tasha, I'm going to come to you first. Tasha, who is the biggest threat to knock off the reigning champion Ravens?
Themselves.
Right. Oh, okay. So okay, Mike.
I mean, I would definitely agree with Tasha. I mean, Ravens are pretty much a shoe-in, unless something happens to their team. I'm gonna go with the Bengals just because I think they have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. As long as they stay healthy, I think they can definitely contend with the Ravens. I still think Ravens are on top though.
Yeah.
Prince, who worries you the most in your division?
Our film room. That's
Really?
what worries me the most. Our film room. Because I don't know what we be seeing after games. When we get to the playoffs, we just forget everything. I don't know if we taking the other team's game plays. I don't know if we got the tapes mixed up, but our
Yeah.
film room.
What happened with
Because
not running the ball, Prince? We got a Ravens fan
that's
here.
why I said our film
Come on,
room.
man.
I don't know what's going on in there, but we're not seeing the right tape.
Run
We
the
ain't game
ball.
planning.
Okay, what you saying there? We'll go a little bit out of order. Do the Ravens beat the Chiefs last January if Derrick Henry's on the team?
Definitely. Because I feel that when you look at the backfield with Dobbs being hurt, right? It kind of put Lamar into like a running back kind of like type of gameplay where he didn't really have a back he could truly like depend on. Because when you think about the regular season versus playoffs, that's two different mindsets. You want those ride or die players behind you. And I don't feel like he really trusted his running backs. I don't feel like the coaching staff trusted the running backs in the playoffs. I feel like Derrick Henry, he comes with a certain cachet
Yeah.
that everyone's wow. You know, he comes with that.
I like
You
that.
give me the ball and get out the way, right? So I feel like with him in the backfield last year, I feel like they would have ran the ball more. Scratch tape, scratch gameplay, perception. Give him the ball and get out the way. Because we were literally at the 50-yard line half the game. Like half the game. Like half the game, we had like three 3-and-outs with like 3 yards to go for a first down. Like, but we didn't have no running back we was confident in to give the ball to in the middle of the field.
Mike, do you agree? The Chiefs don't make it to the Super Bowl if King Henry is wearing purple and black.
100%. I think with King Henry and the season that the Ravens had last year, that's Super Bowl right there. You run the ball. Like even on, I mean, I know we talked to NFC too with the 49ers and just like running the ball, or with the Lions and 49ers, like run the ball. Like, I don't know. It was like the same game. Like they both stopped running the ball second half. And I was like, man, and you know me, Michigan guy. So I'm like, man, you got to run that ball, play good defense, run the ball.
Tasha, are the Chiefs glad that the King wasn't there in January?
Hell yeah, they glad.
It's
Hell
like,
yeah.
all right.
I mean, and you know, we keep saying, oh, if the King was there, if Lamar would have just ran. Remember when everything happened, we came on the show and I was like, I don't know if they, when I say they, I mean the media. I mean everybody who gets in his head about him being a runner and not a quarterback. I wonder if they got in his head at that moment and he wanted to make a bigger moment out of it than do what he instinctually does, which is run the ball.
That's a great point, because one thing that we also must consider is the fact of who he was playing against. You have him being the MVP playing against arguably this generation's GOAT in Patrick Mahomes, and that narrative of, well, let me beat Patrick Mahomes in Patrick Mahomes' game. He didn't have to do that. He was that team was built to win. But, I mean, to the Ravens' point, though, L'Jarius Sneed, he don't punch that ball out at the goal line. We could be looking at a different game. And the reason, Prince, that I wanted to ask you about King Henry is because Derrick Henry disclosed this after he left Tennessee in free agency. He said that there was a trade in place between Baltimore and Tennessee to send him to the Ravens for a 4th-round pick. And our owner, Amy Adams Strunk, got cold feet at the last second because she didn't want to send our most beloved player, send Steve McNair, to y'all to give y'all a Super Bowl. Because you know the smoke, I would have been livid if y'all would have won the Super Bowl after we traded Derrick Henry to y'all. Now, I know we're not a Super Bowl contender, so I'm rooting for King Henry to get it done. I hate the Ravens, but I want King Henry to get his damn ring so I can officially pass this crown off that Tasha's sick and tired of seeing. I can officially pass this off.
No, stop. I'm not sick and tired of seeing it when you're talking about the King, as in Henry. I'm sick and tired of seeing it when you're talking about somebody else.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And since we're not talking basketball yet, I'm gonna let that sit right there. Mike, coming to you. Who would you rather have for the next 5 years, Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, I like Lamar Jackson. I think he's outplayed Burrow hands down, and I think we could all agree on that. MVP caliber, MVP years. If you're talking about the next 5 years, I'm thinking about like not the next year or the year after that. I'm thinking about those last 3 years. I'm going to go after Joe Burrow. I don't know if Lamar can stay in his right game plan. Like Tasha was saying, like she felt like they were taking out his just natural. Would you say, Prince? Like his faux choix? What do you say?
Faux choix.
Yeah,
That's a French word. French word. That's a French word.
So I think when you take that, like that's just for non-football people out there, that's just like your natural ability to just score, right? You just take over. It's kind of like football. Johnny Manziel, like he said, he didn't go to film. He didn't read no playbooks. He just played football.
Right.
And look, how far it got him. So I'm a little hesitant on his next 5-year plan of what that looks like. If he stays healthy, hands down, Lamar Jackson. That's not even a question. I just worry about that part.
Tasha, is this a hands down scenario for you as well? Who you take the next 5 years, Burrow or Lamar?
Yeah, you know who I'm gonna go with.
For any other reason than ABOB?
I mean, Burrow has shown to be injury prone with all the greatness that he shows, through college, even in the pros, he's always hurt. Lamar, I always say Lamar's I'm sick. Lamar just be calling in sick. I don't really think a lot of times Lamar is sick. I think he's playing the game.
PTO Joe.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Lamar, especially with now him having King Henry. He doesn't have to run as much. He's going to save his legs more, not going to be hit as much because he's not going to be opening himself up to run. And again, he's using all them PTO days.
Right. Prince, would you trade straight up this season? Would you trade Burrow for Jackson?
Man, I'm about to get off this stream. Get off this stream. What? First of all, you talking the next 5 years?
Yeah.
Lamar was drafted 2 years before him, and they're the same age. People forget that. People forget they're the same age. Lamar, like Mike said, you can't teach talent. Right. You're either born with it or you're not. Look, I played football all the way through high school. Like, when it comes to football, I think the masses forgets that talent outweighs everything, because in basketball, you feel like the coach is kind of just there to keep morale there, but the players win the games, right? The same thing happens in football. It's just that we don't correlate with it a lot because they have a helmet on and the coach doesn't. It's about who you actually can see the face of. But most of the time, I'll tell people, there isn't plays that are ran. You got your stationary plays for the linemen. Maybe 1 or 2 receivers might got a certain route that they stick to all game. But 80% of the game is improvising. Because when that play breaks down, the practice, the instincts, the talent kicks in. And again, you can't teach the talent Lamar has. And one thing Joe Burrow had coming out of college, it was his quickness with his feet. And where are all his injuries coming from? Lower extremities. Mm-hmm. Next 5 years, watch how slower he gets. He already wasn't really a fast quarterback, but he had those quick, like Drew Brees type of tennis feet, like lateral quickness. Those lower extremities is going to start to kick in the older he gets. When he reaches like that 30 plateau in the next 2.5 years, because he makes 28 this season. He turns 28 this season. That speed, that agility, that side to side, kind of like break for that first down is going to start to diminish. He's going to start hesitating. So Lamar, next 5 years, you give me Lamar. That's on his instincts alone.
I mean, now I love to watch Joe Burrow play because, I mean, we're not going to sit up here and act like he's slow. But it's just the fact, and his injuries happen at like, how did that happen? Injuries, that's how his injuries, like, what do you call them? Phantom injuries. I mean, it really is kind of hard. Of course, I am going to pick Lamar, but man, Joe Burrow is dangerous. He is
I think I'm going to side with Mike on this one for the simple fact that I'm wondering if he has that Steve McNair quality about him that can transfer his game to Air McNair, to where Steve didn't run in 2003, 2004. He just stood in the pocket and just winged that thing. I have more confidence in Burrow doing that now. I would take Lamar right now, but I have more confidence in Burrow being able to do it over the next 5 years. Good morning, AP Culture. Jarrell says the Ravens receivers need to help out Lamar more this year. You agree with that, Prince?
I think with Andrews being back healthy, hopefully after his car wreck and everything, I think he'll definitely he was too much in and out of the lineup, and he was Lamar's safety blanket. Mm-hmm. Like everybody else was downfield threats. I think with him coming back, the downfield will open up a little more because you can't bring that extra. You're gonna have to bring that safety in the box for Andrew because that linebacker ain't gonna be able to cover him. So I think with Andrews back, the receivers they'll have more downfield impact, and I think that's what he's probably mentioning. Like he don't feel like the receiver showed up, but they were drafted for a certain reason, and you take Andrews out of the mix, right. You kind of lose why you drafted them. So I think with Andrews back, that'll help.
It would be interesting to see how he's paired with Isaiah Likely, who kind of stepped in for him and played pretty good. Like Isaiah Likely was a solid, productive tight end.
Sleeper on fantasy too.
A fantasy sleeper.
Yeah, he was on my fantasy team.
Right.
I still got a second, but I'll digress on that. That's okay.
No, don't digress, Mike. I'm coming right to you. Does the addition of King Henry hurt Jackson's fantasy value, in your opinion?
No. I think what Prince was talking about is like he has to be able to also sling the ball. And I think he did. Yeah. For the most of the season, he did really well in that factor. I think, with Andrews out, of course, was it Flowers stepped up on that one. I think he'll be fine. I think if anything, it might help because Henry does catch the ball, through the flats. So
he's gotten a lot better at that, right?
So I think that will be a game plan for the Ravens as well, because I don't think that they'll change their whole brand of how they do their offense. I think they'll just see a little bit more catches from Henry, which is kind of scary for the defense.
It's very scary. And I'm so looking forward to that Thursday night opening game with Baltimore and Kansas City. It's almost seeing the rematch with Tyson and Holyfield. Like, I'm ready for that because the King is going to be a king.
I'm also hoping that the Titans didn't run the King into the ground. We always talked about how much he was doing in Tennessee, how they were just basically putting the whole team on his back and saying, run.
Boy, I couldn't get to my mute fast enough. Lord Jesus, go ahead.
What do I look at?
I agree with you. That's what I'm afraid of, that we got him 1 year too late. That's one of the downsides. We got him one because I know he mentioned earlier that the Titans owner kind of held up the deal, but I heard it had more to do with Dobbs being injured. Like they didn't have a true running back to send back. I heard it had more to do with Dobbs than him getting cold feet. Like the cold feet came from they were giving them Henry with really nothing true in return versus just the pick.
See, that's like I said, that when you put Joe Burrow is just interesting to me because he's proven that he can play, and that's what I'm worried about, the wear and tear on Lamar if he has to go back to start running, and I'm worried about the fact that Joe Burrow stays injured. So it's almost like we're comparing apples to apples in certain instances when it comes to them.
Right, and there was a thumb issue that cost him the rest of the season last year. He couldn't grip the ball after that Monday night game. It's both players, when they're healthy, are MVP caliber players, and when they miss, they don't ever miss a week. They always miss the rest of the damn season. That's right. the one thing I worry about with both. Now let's stick with quarterbacks. Tosh, I'm coming to you first. Let's play start one, sit one, and cut one. Now I'm going to give you these quarterbacks in alphabetical order, so I'm not swaying the jury here. So start one, sit one, cut one. We got Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson, and Russell Wilson.
I'm cutting Freak Nasty. You already know that because I don't like him. I'm actually going to start Russ. And
he's going out there with his cane. Like, hold on, give me that.
I mean, because I just think putting Fields out there right now for the Steelers is not a good thing, even though they did say they tweaked some things. Like, I didn't know as far as being a quarterback, the way you stand at the center really made that much of a difference. And they were saying when he was at FIU, for you that don't know Prince, I can't say the word because he gets mad when I cuss, but everybody in the comments can get in here and say whatever they want to say. But if I cuss, it's close to showdown. I digress. He was standing a certain.
Wait a minute, you cuss like Richard Pryor though. There's a all dang it, and then there's T Sizzle cussing. Go ahead.
And then they said when he got to the Bears, that the Bears changed his stance, and it kind of threw him off. It was like he would take a pause between these cadences of the snaps, and it kind of threw him off. That's why I say Chicago was just a quarterback killer. They better be glad they got a quarterback like Caleb Williams. I know we off subject. Caleb Williams, who can basically tell them kind of what he wants to do, and he's not going to let them change too much of his game. But anyway, back to the Steelers. They changed him back to how he was in college, and they're saying that that's already made a difference in him. So I think you start Russ a few games, like Russ going to be out there with that cane. He had that calf injury, Sierra out there dancing, and they got the little Future and the kids out there. I think Fields will take over before the season is over.
I think so as well. Prince, start one, sit one, cut one. We got Deshaun Watson, Justin Fields, and Russell Wilson.
I agree with T Sizzle. I'm cutting Freak Nasty. He does nothing for me. He does nothing for me. He's going to end up being that quarterback of what if. Watch. I think he's done. Honestly, I think he's done. He's going to be that what if. Once up here is gone, no matter how talented you are, it's done. It's done. They about to start drafting for the quarterback of the future. So I'm cutting him. I'm actually putting Wilson on the bench. I think he can be a great mentor for Fields. I would start Fields. I want to keep a mentor around him. And I agree with T Sizzle on the Chicago thing. Just this year alone, I seen a stat the other day. Williams had 3 more seconds just in his first preseason game to throw the ball than Fields had all year long on average snaps. 3 more seconds.
That goes to what Mike was saying last week about him having concerns about Chicago's offensive line and what they did to address that. Excellent point. Mike.
Yeah, I agree with Prince 100%. I'm going to sit Russell Wilson because I think he can be a good mentor. And I think if you have Justin Fields, now's the time to put him in there. All right, I don't care who you played for. You got out there and you got to see the NFL speed. You either have it or you don't. I need to find out right now. So I'm going to put you out on the starter and see what you got. You have a veteran who's been there, done that, won a Super Bowl. So go ahead, get you some.
Deshaun Watson, this was the worst possible development for his career that was already spiraling down from what happened in Houston. Deshaun Watson missed 11 games last year. Cleveland won 11 games and won a playoff game last. They were close to beating Houston in the playoffs. Yeah. They won with Joe Flacco.
They off the couch and did like this.
Joe Flacco was older than me. And I graduated in the 90s. We'll just say the 90s. And Joe Flacco got them to 11 wins. If I'm paying you $230 million, you should not be replaceable. Baltimore's not winning 11 games without Lamar. It's just not happening. Joe Burrow, he missed 11 games. You can forget about it in Cincinnati. That could be the worst contract.
And they ain't got that. And the wide receiver ain't wanting to play either.
That could be the worst. But hey, shouts out to Cleveland. To still get 11 wins out of that type of season, that's more to do with Myles Garrett and that suffocating defense, I think, than anything else. All right, so
after he hit somebody upside the head with a helmet, that he would.
He's on the Titans now, so I'm gonna raise the ball face to Rudolph. He loved that ball. He was the number 1 overall pick, and he's lived up to the hype. Defensive Player of the Year, pay that man. Now, Mike, we're getting close to kickoff when it's time to start doing our over-unders. So we got some over-unders for y'all, all right? Baltimore, Vegas odds has them at 10.5 wins. Prince, you taking the over or the under?
I'm taking the over.
I like that. Tasha, you taking the over 10.5 wins?
I'm definitely taking the over on that.
I agree with you, too. Mike.
No, I was just saying 10.5 is low. I was thinking a 12. 12 would be a good number. But yeah, I'm definitely going over.
Now, Cincinnati, for some reason, Vegas has them equally at 10.5 wins. Mike, we'll start with you.
I told you. No,
taking the over or the under?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over on that. I think they come back.
Prince?
I'm gonna take the under. I got him at 10 games. Honestly. Exactly at 10.
10 would probably still get them in. Tasha.
Wait a minute. What? You said they got him at what?
10.5.
10.5 games. The same as the Ravens. Good morning, Denise.
Oh, shouts out. Shouts out to my baby. You don't know what she did for her daddy for his birthday. She bought him. That's why I always tell y'all, it ain't gonna never be no Mike Tomlin slander as long as this child right here is listening. She bought her father some preseason tickets to see the Steelers play the Bills today, and she took him to the airport so he could go see his beloved Steelers.
Nice. Congratulations and happy birthday. You get to go see old SpongeBob shoes in the black Air Forces.
I said no slander. I'm gonna go with the under.
Okay. Cleveland, they have dropped them down to 8.5 wins. They won 11 last year. Tasha, I'm starting with you. You taking the over or under on 8.5 wins?
I'm gonna take the over on that.
I like Cleveland.
And wait a minute, flights, tickets, the fit, and she paid for the hotel.
Right. Let me send you my information on that.
Let your mama hold something.
Mike, you taking the over or under 8.5 for Cleveland?
Yeah, I have them at 9, so I'll go over.
Prince, you agree?
Yeah, I'm going over.
What they come with these half of games? What is the? Just give me a.
So that
for betting purposes, they try to swing bets.
Yeah, there's no push. Someone gonna win.
Excellent point, Mike. Just to avoid the push. Good morning, Miss Hastings. Pittsburgh, coach, keep a job. Now,
you might have Tasha go first. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have Tasha go first because the black Jeff Fisher, Mr. 8-8.
Over. Over. No Mike T slander allowed.
Now, okay, so Vegas has him at 8.5 wins, which would be his first losing season at the helm of Pittsburgh. She's taking the over. I don't think it's football based, but we're gonna keep it rolling. Mike, you taking the over?
Nah, I think this is gonna be a big blow up season for them. I'm gonna go under.
Ooh, the heck with that defense, Rick.
Ooh, nice, Mike, nice. Prince, now, this is one of your rivals. Do you see them getting at least to 9 wins?
No, I call Tomlin Mr. Halfway Point. He gonna get you to the halfway point. He gonna get you to the halfway point. Look, you know the old saying: when you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none. When you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none.
See, Prince, you're not privy to my memes, but I send this to Paul and Mike often.
He gonna get you to the halfway point.
Look, good morning, Stiana Fernandez. What's going on? Now, what they need is Elijah up in Pittsburgh. Maybe he'll get to now. In Mike Tomlin's defense, he did win 10 games. He went 10-7 with arguably one of the worst offenses in the history of the NFL last year, where they were chanting "Fire the offensive coordinator" at home games. So we may see that. Shouts out to Farrah checking in. What up? I think it's going to be interesting. I think this could be a situation where they run it back, the division, where there's no team with a losing record. All these quarterbacks are back. Well, no, because Deshaun Watson kind of addition by subtraction. Now that he can't get the crafty tug no more, he kind of lost his superpowers.
I mean, and then again with that shoulder, like it's. I don't know.
He got the money to pay them girls off, and then he was like, "All right, y'all, I'm out." Like the sponge, like that meme when the little kid who does this and disappears. I think that's him. Now I want to start a fight because we're going to move on to the NFC East in our countdown to kickoff continuance. And now I'm seeing some Cowboy haters show up in the chat, so this might get ugly. No team has won back-to-back division titles in the NFC East in over 20 years. So Dallas Cowboys, who Tasha picked correctly to win the division last year, you all are on the clock. But I want to start this off with a hot take. And I want to see if I'm overreacting because we got guests on the show. And I want to see because he's going to come in with no pre-argument opinions because we kind of box about this. I have my premise is that the Dallas Cowboys are the most disrespected team in the history of sports. All right, mute yourselves because I'm talking to Prince. Now, Prince is me and you, bro. We down there in the water. We down there Razoo having some alligator tails and some vodka and cranberry or vodka and Sprite or whatever it is we drinking on. And I'm pleading to you with this. Now, the Cowboys are one of only 4 teams, and you should know this because your team was one of them. One of only 4 teams to win at least 12 games last year. The other 3 were San Francisco, your Ravens, and the Detroit Lions. Now, none of them won the Super Bowl. But all we hear is slander and disrespect, not only from the media, but from Cowboys fans as well. Here's a Cowboy hater jumping in right now. Good morning, Martrice. She's already doing the face palm. That's why I'm glad we got company today, so I can bleed out on him. Okay?
Oh man.
Now, nobody is slandering the 49ers. Nobody's slandering Detroit, and for a good reason, because they're on the ascend. And nobody's slandering Baltimore. Why is everybody slandering the Cowboys? Prince, help me out here.
I think it has more to do with their America's team kind of mantra. I think it has more to do with that. You can't be America's team and be braggadocious and boastful when you aren't winning championships. I think if Jerry Jones was a little more quiet, I think if the fans didn't rile up every fan base saying they were winning the Super Bowl every year, I don't think that the Cowboys would get so much flack. Because I don't even call it negativity, because sometimes it's true. They do have a good like record and then flame out first round of the playoffs. Like at home, I might say. Like I think it's just the track record over the years has just become like overwhelming support for other fan bases. I don't think I don't think it's really like hate. I think it's just Cowboys hold themselves in this high regard, this expectation with no championships. And me personally, I think Dak is a top 5, 7 debatable quarterback in the league. Look at his numbers in the regular season. Sometimes he might not show up, but I actually think Dak gets a lot of undeserving flack. I think he's a consistent quarterback.
My brother, right. A cyber hug from here. But the thing is, now I must be forced to face the reality that we had someone with no ties to the previous episodes come on here and say Jerry and the fan base. But this is to my point. Yeah,
because you swear it's me and Mike. But
it is y'all too. It is y'all have poison the well. Now look at Michael Harris. You read this?
At least twice, 2 to 3 times since we've been on this show to win the conference. I mean, to win the division.
We affectionately call our listeners the Goon Squad because they can be quite goonish, and this is how they earn their name. We don't like the Cowgirls. They have the worst fans. Now, when have y'all called the Ravens the Ravenettes? When have y'all called the 49ers the 49ers?
You know, I think another thing. I think another thing is that the whole Jerry Jones saying that I know he adjusted the all-in thing, but the fans thought they were going to make some moves this offseason. The Ravens made some moves this offseason. The 49ers, they're trying to sign and not sign people, but they're still getting slack for it. They're like, wait, why are you signing?
That's true, so, That is true.
And you see the Lions.
In talks, but the embers are back going with Ayuk. Once we get him, then we're going to get big.
Right,
but they were getting some smoke there, because they're like, wait, what are you not doing? We need a wide receiver there. So,
that's true. Tasha, I ain't gonna apologize in front of the company. I might apologize in the chat though, because y'all know I'm the biggest Jerry defender. And real quick, because we hadn't gotten your thoughts. What are your thoughts on CeeDee Lamb and his contract situation, Prince?
I don't like Jerry Jones coming out commenting saying he's not in a rush to get it done. It kind of like splits the fan base. That's why I say like he's the reason. Him and the fans are a reason for a lot of the flack the Cowboys get. It's not the players. It's the fans and the ownership. Like, he didn't have to say none of that to the media. This contract negotiations going on right now.
It's the Mark Cuban effect.
I think at the end of the day, the stockholders behind the scenes going to be pressuring him. I think he's going to eventually get it done. Because without CeeDee Lamb, you got no offense. Right. Literally. Who's your running back?
Zeke.
Y'all, we done brought back a 1,000-year-old Ezekiel Elliott. And we're gonna talk about Ezekiel.
Who
He
you?
didn't wear his belly out no more.
Y'all saw him do that running back drill and then had to take a knee because he got tired. Come on now.
he can't run the cones. This is what I think is going on with Jerry, and I think and I'm having to have a moment of reality and water thrown in my face because he came right off the shores of Louisiana and basically told me what y'all been telling me all summer, that I need to shut the hell up.
I've been telling you that for 30 years.
Well, y'all's been 31, but we're not going to talk about the 49ers. That was 2 weeks ago. 31 years.
At least we
31
going.
years.
Y'all ain't even getting there.
31 years. Y'all are the Buffalo Bills of the West.
Go back. Let me go upstairs and change my clothes.
No, you go do that. You go put on that blood red because you're bleeding all out.
See, I feel some slander coming. See, I'm a realist. When y'all asked me, how did y'all think the 49ers going to do without IU? I said we was going to be a first-round playoff exit. I'm a realist. You people are delusional.
See, now we you people. Now look. San Francisco ain't won a championship since before
where
the
y'all
internet.
been? Where y'all been? Where y'all been?
Look, you saw what happened. We gave up a 50 burger in January, okay?
Where y'all been? Where y'all been? Who y'all let beat y'all? Who y'all let come into y'all house and stomp y'all into the ground?
Y'all are the Buffalo Bills.
I got to say some cuss words real fast.
Y'all are the Buffalo Bills. See, Justin's going to come in with some levity. He says, realists don't correct always. Now, Justin knows because he done put them hands on y'all in several Super Bowls.
Justin, you better pull your string.
Yeah, Justin over there sipping his tea, you know. He was like,
you better pull your string, Justin. We'll see you next week.
Hey, thank God somebody came in and got my back on that. Okay, so let's move off of that. And thank you, Prince. I appreciate you for keeping it real because I need honest friends. All right, these two be hating.
I'll tell you the truth.
No. They be hating. They be calling them cow witches and everything else and throwing slander on them. The last time the cowgirls won something, Michael Jordan was playing baseball. See,
and that's your family.
Now, see, since y'all kind of checked in and may not have seen this. Now, Prince already said there's only one king and one goat. There's a GOAT king. And while Michael Jordan was ducking the smoke, running off playing baseball, LeBron James was still averaging 25, 10, and 12. So we're going to just leave that right there.
Off at the last second.
That's true. Well, look, LeBron James is MVP of the Olympics, which means he's the MVP of the earth. Okay? He's the MVP of the planet. All right? We're going to leave that right there. Now, you can all my thunder by laughing at that. That one, I was serious. I thought I had a moment right there. I thought I can't stand you. So Prince, since we throwing my team in the fire, let's talk about Mike's team, the Eagles, because this is how I saw the season play out last year. Tasha, Prince, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm gonna lean on in. We're gonna sit around the fire for a second. The Philadelphia Eagles started 10-1, looking like they was the second coming of the 72 Dolphins. Then what happened? Did they win another game after that? I don't think they won one more game. And then they go to Tampa Bay, who was a 9-8 division by default playoff team, and got their doors blown off 32-9. I ain't heard nothing about the Eagles offseason all summer. Why are the Eagles ducking smoke? Are you? Is this make or break for Nick Sirianni, Mr. Prince? Is this make or break? Here we go. Now they ain't make a break for them. Here we go.
I'm not saying it's make or break. I think that he has a good relationship with the front office from what I've read. I think they agree on roster construction, play style. When you got a coach in the front office that agrees on those two things, I think that there's no parting ways in the moment. It would have to be catastrophic. Like they would have to have like a losing record, and I don't see that happening.
I don't either.
Especially what hurts, I don't see that happening. I could see them. I could see their worst season probably being like a 9-win season, right? I could see that being a 9-win season. But I wasn't impressed with their offseason moves. The crazy thing is, before the offseason, you mentioned it earlier about no one in their division ever winning back-to-back. Before the offseason started, I would have picked them. Commanders is going to be sneaky. Commandos is gonna be sneaky. They gonna surprise some people this year. Hey, at the LSU, we got the LSU quarterback over there. Hey, they gonna surprise some people this season. But I think the Eagles. I think they're going to be like middle of the pack, teetering. Every year, notice every year you have that one team. It happens every year. I think 49ers did it a couple years ago, where it's like you have an astounding regular season, and like the last 2 to 3 games before the end of the season, you just start to like teeter. It's like a high risk, low reward kind of team, and I think that was the Eagles last year.
Oh, that's San Francisco for the last 30 years, but go on.
I just think that.
We got more. Check the score. We got more.
That's true. That is true. Now we're gonna save the Eagles fan for last on this because you was cooking. You was cooking now. See, Sizzle. Can all of this be fixed? That what the disastrous ending that they had last year? Can all of this be fixed by one Saquon Barkley?
I mean, I think it can help. As long as I've been saying this, Hurts was hurt, and I think that was one of the biggest issues about how things were going there. And then you had, a little unrest back and forth. But if you got Jalen Hurts in there, you're giving AJ Brown the ball, you got Saquon back there now to run. I think the offense will run a little bit smoothly. They're not going to have that tush push, which was. I mean, 90% of their touchdowns in their offense.
Right.
But for all we know, they could be working on a tush push. We don't know. Tush push 2. We don't know.
That sounds like a good movie. Tush push 2. Kelsey brothers. Mike, is Nick Sirianni on the hot seat this year?
Yeah, I think he is. I think I would agree with Prince. If there's a losing season or like you somehow miss the playoffs, which I don't foresee happening, then yeah, definitely. Like this is a playoff caliber team. So many improvements on the defense. We got the secondary, we got the linebackers like added in. We even have linebackers on the bench that are star players. So like. And then you got Saquon thrown in there. I agree with Tasha that it's going to flow a little bit easier. Everything is just not on Hurts, which is great because I think they wore him down. You also have Jason Kelsey. I'm shout out to Jason. I mean, like he's a Hall of Fame center.
But he don't wash his feet in the shower.
That last season, he was struggling. And I don't know if everyone watched the Eagles games, but like he had so many false starts as a center. I'm like, come on, man.
His feet was dirty.
So
trying to get off on the sideline so he can go over there and scratch.
How do you play football and don't wash your feet?
I don't know because I love washing my feet, so I don't know.
Mike, look. Now we know your in-laws be watching this. We gonna digress.
Man, I got them flat feet. My feet be like this, so we don't want to
hear about your fetishes.
Washing his feet, but they have. So what?
You know what? We're gonna keep it moving. But see, look at Mike. Nobody buys Lebronia. See, you see, it was the cowgirls. Now it's Lebronia. They want to emasculate all of the goats of the game, like the Cowboys and LeBron.
Oh my God, that is true. Because down here, I've seen so many different variations of Jordan colorways. I ain't seen nobody with no knockoff LeBrons down here. I even saw a dude with some cake.
LeBron's gonna have a do-rag hair that comes out that lines you up. He's gonna have a do-rag
with some knockoff KDs on the tongue. It had KK on it.
Kim Kardashian. Maybe there was some Kim Kardashians.
All right, it was some KKs, not no KDs.
Prince, who would you rather have this season? Dak and CD or Hurts and AJ Brown?
Dak and CD. AJ Brown, he's not a winner to me.
Wait a minute.
He don't make winning plays. Like I love him coming from he doesn't. I watched him with the top. He doesn't make winning plays. Don't let the stat sheet fool you. Sometimes last year, I feel like he was at odds with Hurts on a couple passes. I feel like he's a team player if he don't got his numbers too. He's one of those players that's going to sulk. You can win the Super Bowl, and if he don't have his numbers and don't make a Pro Bowl, he gonna sulk. He's not a team player. I've watched many times CD be humble when he only got 2 passes in the game because he understood the game plan. I've watched many times.
Tasha, you up next because all of that was just spot on true about AJ Brown.
What they say in Ghost when she said "I love you" and Patrick Swayze say "ditto."
Yeah, I'm gonna ditto that too. Mike, you get the last word on that one.
Yeah, so when I went over this, of course I was thinking Hurts, AJ Brown. Like that's, I mean, if we're going off of like
he's a dog.
AJ Brown is just like that guy. And then you think about it, like if we're talking about like chemistry, it's different. Like Dak and CD just have that chemistry, and you even look, to Prince's point, you look on running plays or like balls that are not thrown to CD's way, like he's still playing the play. You look at AJ's way, like it's not going his way just by the way he comes off the line. You're like, oh, okay. Yep. And that, like, to the point, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but like you could see it on film. You're like, man, come on, man. But you're gonna cry about not getting the ball. This is why you're not getting the ball. You're not a team player. So I'm gonna go Dak CD.
The Goon Squad is agreeing with all three of y'all, and they're saying you cooking Prince because I do distinctly remember, and I'm very sensitive about my Titans, but I do distinctly remember Derrick Henry's 2,000-yard season. The Titans were the number 1 seed, and there were moments when you would see somebody having to put the towel over A.J. Brown to keep him off camera, cussing out the coach because we done ran the ball 57 straight times with the King. So I love A.J. Brown. I was sad to see him go, but for my money, it's going to be CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. What's more likely to happen, Mike? I'm going to start with you. That Ezekiel Elliott gets 1,000 yards rushing this year, or that Daniel Jones gets 4,000 yards passing. What's more likely to happen?
Dang, I mean, this is pretty hard. This is kind of like Prince's. He say like plead the fifth on 2 of 2 questions.
Hey, that cash money question.
Most likely,
I gotta go home.
Most likely, I'm gonna go with Zeke. I mean, I don't know. I have no reason for either of the answers that I was going to pick. So most likely I'm going to go with Zeke. Maybe one day he starts getting a nutritionist and starts getting in shape. Maybe he hires Prince over here for a little trainer. I don't know. He does that on the side. Shout out.
Man, go call it Zeke. Go on up to the star and get him right.
Exactly. So I'm going to go with that.
Tasha.
What?
Zeke 1,000 or Daniel Jones 4,000? What's more likely to happen?
First of all, Daniel Jones don't even need to be in the league no more. So
he's got Malik Neighbors. That's the reason why I'm asking. Can Malik help him get to 4,000?
No. I hate that Malik Neighbors even had to go there.
I am too. I do too.
So now we're gonna be calling Malik Neighbors the new diva wide receiver because he's gonna be so mad because Daniel Jones is a bag of shit. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean.
It's already out the bag. He might be the next NFL player to hit another player inside the head with a helmet. Malik Neighbors
and it's gonna be his own quarterback.
That might happen. Prince, now I want you to be nice, all right? Because these two are savages. And I know you seem polite, raised right, and all of that. Zeke, 1,000 yards, or Daniel Jones, 4,000 yards? If you had to put money on one or the other happening, which would you put your money on?
I got to go against the panel on this one. I'm going Jones, 4,000 yards. I think a lot of people are sleeping on how good Neighbors is.
We ain't sleeping on that. We got to throw the ball.
Daniel Jones ain't got 4,000 yards his whole career total.
Again,
3,200 yards in 2022. Go ahead, Prince.
Again, a 5-yard flat turning into an 80-yard touchdown goes into his passing yards. I want people to understand that. Like, that's how good he is. And I think Ingram, their tight end, I think he's going to wake up with Neighbors because they're going to be challenging each other. Because they kind of like both play like that hybrid. They both big, agile. They're going to be challenging each other. I think they're going to wake each other up. I think it's going to be a good passing season for Jones. I'm not saying it's going to equate to wins. So I don't want people to think I got the Giants going to the playoffs.
No, you shoot your smoke on here. You don't have to couch nothing.
I got faith that Zeke going to be able to put another belly shirt on.
No, I do think Neighbors is really good, and shout out to Neighbors. I got Neighbors on my college football ultimate teams, and he been going off. I'm like, dang.
I love Malik Neighbors, and next week, well, the week after next, we're going to get into who do you like better. No, let's just ask Prince why he's here. Who do you like better than this year as far as from a number standpoint? Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I like Neighbors because I feel like he's going to be the number one option from the get-go, from the first snap.
Yeah.
From the first snap. They traded Barkley. Like, he's going to be the first snap. And watch, I guarantee you he's going to do some swing passes out the backfield before the season ends. I guarantee you he's going to have at least 10 of them.
Hey, they said he's already out there acting a fool in training camp, like mossing fools and getting in people's face, and he's got that mentality. Now, Daniel Jones can go one of two ways. Either you can get your 4,000 yards and give him a portion of your contract like Tannehill should have gave Derrick Henry when he got his extension. Thank you, Tasha. Or he going to get that man fired when he go to the GM and like, I can't play with this guy.
Yep.
It's all Daniel Jones to me. It has nothing to do with Malik Neighbors. It just doesn't. And, we don't really see a lot from Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't trust his 2-foot-tall quarterback, but they do have, they got running backs out there, so that may keep him from always having to get the ball too. They got what's his name, the Connor? Yeah,
James Conner is still a problem.
From Pittsburgh.
I just don't trust Daniel Jones. That's just it.
Good morning, Stephanie Coulter. Hey, Stephanie, we got a guest on from Louisiana. The man went to Tulane. You can hear it in his voice. She is the sister I was telling you about that went to school in New Orleans. We love it. All right, over and under. Oh, speaking of which, back to Zeke. Zeke had played in 17 games last year, Mike. He had 652 yards rushing on 180 attempts. It's going to be a long road to 1,000.
Yeah.
Long road.
Yep. I might have to agree with the Daniel Jones. I think catch a couple of swing passes. If Malik can get wicked, and the Giants will probably be behind a lot. Maybe it'll be by attrition. Although Tyrod Taylor is on the team and Daniel Jones.
But you just mentioned CD contract. They getting him the ball next year.
Yeah.
They keep getting the ball next year.
Oh, and last thing on that, I believe that Jerry once again did what Jerry does. I think the plan all along was to sign CD. I think the plan all along was to not make him practice much or play. Because look, what do we know about Jerry Jones? The only thing that he likes more than his Cowboys is his own face on TV.
His money.
His money and that microphone.
Now he's valued at what, $10 billion?
Yeah, crazy. I think it's 10.7.
No.
Crazy.
And he paid, what, $187 million for that team back in 89?
In 89, got rid of Tom Landry. He did put a nice little statue outside of,
Yes, he's rich, Justin. Yeah, he's rich.
He's rich. When I say he got his own money, I mean the boy has got his own money.
Y'all, Mike says this all the time, and it kind of falls on deaf ears with me because I'm so used to him saying it, but I think it rings true in this instance when I sit back and think about it. If CD Lamb and Dak Prescott got signed in March, what are we talking about with the Cowboys this summer? Nothing. The only thing we'll be talking about is the 48 points that they gave up against Green Bay.
Yep.
So at least now you can lead off First Take. You can lead off Speak for Yourself. You can lead off the Unc and Ocho show with this CD Lamb contract that you're going to sign him anyway. But at least it keeps Jerry Jones' face in the A block through June, July, and August. Y'all, I think we fell for it again. And I know I did because I'm sick of this stuff.
Yeah, because we didn't bring it up. I mean,
don't do that. We got guests, and I wanted to get his take on it. All right, y'all. We trying to stay civil while we got company. All right, we coming to you first, Prince. Over under for the NFC East. Dallas at
what does it say? 9, 10
9.5 wins.
Nah, I know that ain't no 9.5. We got to fact check that. That ain't correct. Fact checking that.
Yeah.
Mike, bring him back on the show. So we know that's over.
Yeah, that's over. I got to win in 11.
That's going to win the division too. Mike?
Stop it. I'm going to go under because I think it is true. I think he's going to blow up the team.
Tasha?
I'm going over. I think it's a slap in the face to do 9.
Right. Come on.
Because even without CD, I think they can get 8 without CD.
We gonna see.
Diggs is back, so is Diggs back on defense? Is he back?
Is back on defense.
Is he practicing? I'm not talking about like.
No, he's not playing in the preseason, but he's going to be back. And he still got Deron Bland.
At the preseason, if he practicing, he back.
Yeah, he's back on the field. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't have known because ain't nobody in Oxnard watching them, but that's
Right.
we're not gonna get back into that. Now, the disrespect. See, this is what I mean by the most disrespected team in sports. How the hell do they have the Eagles at 10.5 games and Dallas at 9.5 games after how the Eagles finished the season last year? Somebody help me with this. But Tasha, you up first. Eagles 10.5 games over or under?
Well, you want me to give my too early prediction? You want me to give?
Come on with it. Do your thing.
Because I'm going. Well, it's the only two teams I've been vacillating back and forth with for the last 6 years. So I'm going to pick the Eagles to win the conference. So I'm going to go over.
No, she said conference, so I'm gonna stick with that. We're gonna put that in the reel.
Yeah, that's going in the real.
I mean the division. The division.
Nope.
See, Mike, I could have got a gotcha moment, Mike.
The division. No, they ain't winning. No, they ain't winning that conference.
The 49ers to lose, and I hate
We're all quiet. We're like,
what we saying we doing with IU, and then we gonna get Trent Williams. We running that thing back.
I think everybody's going to go back to their huddles. Like with all of this contract talk, I think everybody's going to run it back. Mike, I know you taking over on 10.5.
Yeah,
being a fan right now.
Coming from a Cowboy segment about complaining about how y'all get too much smoke. Stop it. Move on.
Prince?
I got them over. I actually got Eagles winning the division, not the conference. I got them winning the division with 13 games. I got them at 13.
13 wins?
Like that.
I got them at 13.
See?
Okay.
Who? Nobody else did anything. Nobody else. Like, you got to look at the conference as a whole. Nobody did. Saints didn't do anything dramatic. They got Rattler. He probably won't start for the next 2 years. Derek Carr's still there. Like, nobody did anything to challenge them. Tampa Bay, nobody did anything, because you got to look at last season's record, right, and say, who could beat them from last year's record? If you look at the teams they played last year, no one did nothing in their conference.
Tampa Bay
Speak.
put them in a chokehold at 9-8.
That was a surprise team. You have that. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to be as good as they were last year. They shocked everybody.
Division. I don't either. I agree with you there. All right, Washington 6.5. Mr. Daniels, Prince, with your boy Mr. Daniels, Mr. Jaden, 6.5 wins. So put your money where your mouth is.
I got him at 6. I got him under. I got him at 6.
Now, he just went on this whole diatribe a segment ago about look out for Washington.
Yeah, dude's going to have 4,000 passing yards, only win 6 games. Make it make sense.
You said the over the under.
I said, no, go back and replay it. I said Daniels is going to shock a lot of people for the Commandos.
That's right.
Not the team. Right. I don't like the team. I don't even know who on their defense. That's good.
Like, they need Strahan and Mr. I digress. Now, Washington and the Giants are both 6.5. Y'all taking the overs on both of those, the unders?
I'm taking under.
I'm going to go under on both of those as well. Although Jaden Daniels does have some weapons. Terry McLaurin is decent. They got a couple of serviceable running backs. They got a nice front, defensive front with the D tackles. They might be some count. Might be. I like Terry McLaurin. I think that he just needs a quarterback to get him the ball so he can go ahead and get his next pay.
He's a specialist.
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Expand on that. Specialist?
He's a specialist. He's a gadget guy. He's a specialist. Like, okay. I don't think he's gonna win you a division as a number one. He's a gadget guy. He's kind of like a Brandon Cooks. He's like a Debo. He's a gadget guy. You just put him in scenarios and watch him go.
Yeah, utility player.
Okay, gotcha. Hey, we have a lot of females to watch the show, and we like to educate them. And so when we get some new jargon, we want to make sure that they understand. So we do our thing. Keep spitting your fire, sir. Now, speaking of fire, now Marvin said Duke could be a DB because his backpedal game is nice. Shouts out to the University of Tennessee, the only real UT in college football. The NCAA said that, not me. Now let's move on. They said that. Now let's move on to some basketball. Now that we're a week removed, we've all seen the iconic "I'm gonna dance on you," go behind the back, and I'm gonna shoot the three over two players in the gold medal game with Steph Curry to put the whole country to sleep. Night. Epic gold medal performance. But we want to know if that shot makes T Sizzle's top 5 iconic shots of all time. T Sizzle, the floor is yours.
Okay, let me pull up my list because I did a little homework.
Okay. All right.
I did. Some of these are from memory, but y'all know every now and then I have to be like, what the hell? So, of course, I'm going to go with Jordan over Elo. We all know that. Bulls win. Bulls win. We know that. Of course, I'm going to go with Kawhi over the 76ers.
Wait a minute. The him watching the shot go in like this?
And that ball said, boom. That was
iconic. That was iconic.
Hey, it was iconic. I'm going to go a little off script. Oh, wait a minute. One more before my iconic. Even though this shot, well, it technically did win the game, but it wasn't the end of the game. It was 82. And y'all know we was all Hoya fans in the 80s. When Jordan got the ball, shot the ball, beat Georgetown, because the guy from Georgetown, I think his name was Tony Brown, he lost the ball, and then that's when James Worthy stole.
No, he passed the ball to James Worthy. He was point shaving for Jordan, but keep going.
So now these are out of my last two are out of the box. It's the hell. Yeah, you said it can be anything.
Yeah.
It was the David Tyree helmet catch for me.
Okay. That knocked off the undefeated Patriots.
Okay. Undefeated. And then they were down. Was it like 14-10 or something? They won
17-14 in that game. Yeah.
The helmet catch, because I think Plaxico ended up getting the winning touchdown at that time. But that stands out in my mind. And another kind of out of the box. Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, finish your thought and then we'll come to Marvin's.
Jess, you saying it was iconic shots or things that made you say, and this is one that the person who this happened to still argues and still gets mad about. That dunk Vince Carter did over Alonzo Moore.
Oh, with
stand
when he caught him in the air and he cocked it on him.
Like this and was like, and Zoe is so mad about that to this day, about him getting dunked on by Vince Carter. Those are just, like I said, I kind of went out of the box a little bit, but that kind of stood out to me.
No, that's your segment. That's your piece. Good. Mike, you got any to add to that?
Yeah, I got some because, I think that these segments are fun because it's whatever you think, like what you remember. Right. And mine, of course, I'm a Jordan guy, so I'm going to go Jordan shot against Jazz. That was just one of my, as a kid, just the post had a poster where he was just like that. Yeah.
The Prince, he pushed Byron Russell out of the screen on that. Pushed him right off the camera.
He did.
He guided.
I said it was a push off because I was rooting for the Jazz. So
Mike said he guided him, so we're gonna roll with guided. He guided him. Mike, go out, bro.
I'm gonna go. I don't like either of these teams, the Heat and the Spurs. That championship where Ray Allen hit that three. Yeah, it was just like I knew. I hate Heat fans too because I think they're worse than Cowboys fans. They all left during a finals, y'all are gonna stay out the stadium. You can't get back in. Like, no, so they missed that shot
to get back in,
and so they ended up coming back and winning the series. So that was crucial. I couldn't pick one Dirk shot, but I think it was game 2 to where he did that last second layup, like pump fake then layup to seal the game for game 2. That was crucial because we were down already. So that was big. And then I have the Iverson step over. That was just iconic because oh man, how are you going to look at him like that? And then I have honorable mentions for Michigan, the Jordan Poole fadeaway 3 against Houston in the final.
Yes, that got us to the Final Four ultimately. Yeah.
And then the Trey Burke, I can't forget that because we were there live in the AT&T Stadium. Trey Burke against Kansas comeback win. So I'm gonna go with that one.
I was hoping that you had that on there, but real funny story. Me and Mike went to go watch that game at AT&T Stadium, and we're sitting next to some Kansas fans who was giving us that work the whole game. I'm just strong.
Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie.
I'm strong because we getting hammered. Yep. Old Trey Burke was like, he looked up to the crowd. He saw Mike's Michigan ring, and it kind of flashed, and he was like, all right, I got y'all. My boy started raining them threes. When we came back, man, they tipped on up out of there.
Father, Abraham, Isaac, and Joseph.
To see them Kansas fans tip on up out of there while me and Mike have gone ballistic. That's good stuff. Prince, you got any iconic shots that you recall?
I call iconic shots, for me, it's the difference between a buzzer beater, and iconic shot. I think a lot of people put them in the same conversation and they're not. It's like superstar versus star. So many people in the NBA get called superstars now, even in the NFL. They're stars. They're not superstars. I call iconic shots things that like change the complexity of the sports world with that one shot. I'll start with Jordan in 91 against Cleveland. You already know what the headlines was going to be. He can't win. He's a shot chucker. That shot right there. Remember, a lot of people don't know, but like at the end of that game, he was telling all the reporters, go home.
Yes. Yes, he was.
That shot against Price and them boys changed the trajectory. His shoes skyrocketed that summer. Like that shot changed the trajectory of how we view Michael Jordan, because if he would have missed that shot, I don't even know if they would have kept that team together. Like if he would have missed that shot. What happened?
Them shoes still give you bunions, but go ahead.
That's a lie. Mine ain't never gave me no bunions.
And they do. They hurt. If you got wide feet, they're not for you. If you got wide feet that are not for you, definitely not for you. Secondly, I'm gonna go with another one that changed the trajectory of Derrick Rose's career with Chicago. LeBron in 15. Give me the ball and get out the way.
Yes.
Give me the ball. Don't give it to Kyrie. Give me the ball and throw the game plan away. Give me the ball and get out the way. I think that shot ended Derrick Rose's career with Chicago. That shot ended his career.
Derrick Rose's career in Chicago was in paper mache knees.
It was King James. It was King James because he was MVP that year.
Like he can't beat him. That was like he can't beat him. Like that shot, I think it changed the trajectory. And my last one, I agree with a boy in the chat. The Derek Fisher shot changed the trajectory of how we view San Antonio and the Lakers. Because that game was the deciding factor between how those two franchises turned out as far as like three-peating. That shot changed the trajectory.
Derek Fisher had a whisper of a second, a shadow of a second to get that ball over.
It was 0.4 seconds.
Like that's how fast it had to go.
Now, back to LeBron's shot, because I figured they was going to troll us for not having LeBron on this list. But remember, David Blatt draws up the play. LeBron says absolutely not, erases the play, and draws up his own game winner. Draws up his own game winner and walks on off. He's like, oh, yeah, David Blatt is out of there. Now, this one was one that ripped my heart out. Robert Horry shot against Sacramento when they kicked the ball out to him. He hits the top of the key three that basically saved them from going down 3-1 against Sacramento, and they go on to win that series.
Weber and Vlade Divac and all them on that team at that time.
And that cost Weber was cursed.
I had this conversation the other day because I played college ball at Tulane, of course. Me and my teammates were on the channel talking about this. I don't think people know how talented that Sacramento team was. The Lakers were just that good. And that team was stacked.
Did the refs beat them in Game 6?
The refs did that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they had some unfavorable whistles. Definitely. Hey, Weber was cooking. Weber was cooking, and they said no way.
Weber was giving them that work. Shouts out to Drew Merriman checking in, saying Spurs, let's go. Them Texas boys. Mom said, hey, she told y'all Steph Curry was that one. Them last 3 double team for the goal. Now look, I ain't gonna lie. If y'all wasn't jumping up and down and running around y'all house doing to go to sleep, then y'all ain't Americans. You just ain't. I'm sorry. I was team Steph. Tasha, you was rooting for France, wasn't you?
What?
Tasha.
What?
Ray Ladd checking in says the best sports show in America. Hey, man, we appreciate that, man. Thank you, Goon Squad. Thank y'all for checking in. Now, there's another best sports show in America, and we need y'all to go show this boy some love because Mr. Prince has got his own thing cooking. Let's bring this up for you. Now, go ahead, shoot your shot, man. Tell all the people that's watching how they can find you, my man.
Right now, I'm just on YouTube. Just started. Got my 2 videos up. So I have 2 separate channels. This one right here, I'm going to be doing like TV reviews from Game of Thrones to Kingstown to whatever else new comes out. Movie reviews. I'm a big Marvel fan, so hopefully me and Michigan Mike can get some streams going with some upcoming Marvel stuff, especially with Doom in the fold. But my sports channel is called Prince Sports Media. If y'all want to go check that out as well, I'll be live streaming the Sky versus Sparks game today at 4 as well. So come through. It'll be fun, entertaining. I got a color analyst. I'll be doing play-by-play with the live scoreboard as well.
Nice. Now, we end every show with a shout-out. Who you shouting out today, Mr. Prince? You go first.
Oh, he said, nah, y'all can go.
I go last. I go last. It's y'all show. I go last.
I'll get it started. I want to give a shout-out to Michigan Mike for bringing Mr. Prince on board. I got a chance to check out his breakdown of the Chicago Sky. It was very detailed. Very good job by you, my man. Looking forward to following the Marvel and everything. Now, y'all need to talk about Blade being the most disrespected character in the history of y'all. Why am I on the disrespect kick today?
No.
Y'all gonna put respect on Blade. I'm gonna need y'all to do that.
Nah, he did good. They did good on that last one. So
okay, I need to catch up with that. Mike, who you shouting out this week?
I'm gonna give a shout out to our amazing host, Mr. PL Coulter. Got a birthday coming up this week. Yeah, so I want to give a shout out. I know y'all know that Mr. PL Coulter runs this thing, doesn't get paid for it, organizes it, talks to us.
Mike, our presence is his payment enough.
Right, our presence is our presence. So yeah, I want to give out a shout out. He's been doing this for a long time, rain or shine. And shout out to Tasha too for going out with them every week. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out. Happy birthday, man. Thank you, sir. And speaking of rain or shine, we will be off next week and be back for the start of college football on 8/31. Marvin says, I'm still waiting on my college football game challenge. Truck D Gamer 55. It will the friend request will be in your inbox in the next 20 minutes. Come get this work. Gamer. I run with Texas. I run with LSU. I run with Michigan. I played with SMU the other day, so let me know. SMU? Was it the Pony Express? Man, I played against Michigan too. That Michigan D line don't play. We knew Mike was going to find a way to get Michigan into this show. Tasha T. Sizzle, who you shouting out this week?
I'd like to wish a joyeux anniversaire to my sweet little nephew who is in Montreal. His name is Isaiah. Isaiah is 4 years old today.
Oh, he's Team Drake.
No, he's not. He's from Montreal. He speaks French, Creole, and Spanish at 4. His father is Dominican. His mother is Haitian, but he lives in Montreal. So she speaks French and Creole to him. So that's what he speaks. He's not Team Drake.
Well, we
shout out to the Haitians.
All right, nice. And thank you, Christina. Thank you.
And also shout out to, like I said, my boy Lance, who his birthday was yesterday. Lance is 32. He's a brother from Detroit, living down here in the DR. A cool brother that I've been probably been kicking it with for maybe about a year or so. Real cool, laid back dude. Loves to drink wine. That's all he does. Ain't nothing wrong with Vino now. To get me and my nephew, I called Tyler. He said, y'all can come drink wine tonight. Tyler, why you speaking for me? How you know I had nothing to do? But anyway, shouts out to my little baby, Isaiah, and to my boy, Lance, for their birthdays.
Did you go drink the wine?
Oh, we did. We had wine last night for his
That's
birthday.
why he said it.
We went to drink. Wait a minute. Oh, this was a special drink. We went to Cigar Bar, too, last night, and the guy was making a drink. He put a spice in there and the shit. And it made your tongue go numb. I'm like, what is this? But yeah, that was us clanking our glasses with our wine last night at one place before we went to the cigar bar.
Now, see, this is the Goon Squad for you. He been playing college football until 4 a.m. and still got up to watch a show that started at 9. See, we love you for that, Kenny, man. Shouts out to Kenny, man. Now, again, where can they find you later on this afternoon, Prince?
Prince Sports Media. 4 p.m. I'll be live streaming Chicago Sky versus the Los Angeles Sparks WNBA game.
And that's 4 p.m. Central Time.
What? Central Time?
Yeah, 4 p.m. Central Time.
All right, because Tennessee and Texas are both on Central Time, but we do have people in New York, and I know Christina's in Georgia. I know there's Eastern Time. So nice job by you, Mike. Mike, can you drop that info in the comments so when people check it out throughout the day, they'll be able to see that.
You got an Instagram or something?
I'm actually about to open. It was closed, so I'm actually about to open it back up.
You trying to do your OnlyFans on that?
Carter was talking about that behind the scenes. I'm actually about to open it back up today. It was closed. My wife was like, "You need to open your Instagram back up." So I'm about to open it back up today, and see what's going on with that, and I'll make sure I put it on my tags moving forward. So
What happened? What you do?
But he was trying to open
nothing.
up
Like
his fans on
sometimes.
the public page.
So what happens is like throughout the year, I like to take like just like social media breaks because they are time consuming. And just so happened during my break, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of getting on other people's channels, giving them all my expertise. Because people are always in the comments like, hey man, you got a channel, like you break down stuff very well. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to start a channel. And it just happened to be during my break. So, but I'm about to open up my Facebook back up and my Instagram back up probably later today.
Make sure y'all like, follow,
that as well,
and increase his footprint. Mike has put up his YouTube, so make sure that y'all go on there and give this man a subscribe. I will be subscribing right after the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be off next Saturday. I want to give Mike and Tasha a week off before we jump into the heart of the football season, where the University of Michigan will begin defense of their 2023 title. You know how we do it. We'll see you in 13 days and several hours. Until then,
go blue.
Yeah, there we go. Go.
That's good.
Peace.
Prince, don't log out.